Footy Brews!
Everything football.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sasha.
Hey, and this is Roman. This is another episode of the Footy Brews, getting hyped for the Euros. Who are we talking about today, Sash?
Oh, we're talking about one of the big teams of European soccer.
Birthplace of midfielders. España.
España. Lot of cool takeaways already. People are going to be talking about. We'll talk about overall the team's depth. We'll talk about the overall how we think the team's going to line up, and then we're going to see the players that are honorable mentions that didn't make the squads. So Luis Enrique released his 26-man squad, and you know what? We'll go straight into the goalkeepers, right? So we're looking at the David De Gea for Manchester United, Unai Simon for Atletico Bilbao, Robert Sanchez for Brighton. What do we think, Romain?
Well, right away, a key takeaway is De Gea. He's still playing strong. I mean, he's in Manchester United, as you guys all know. They finished pretty strongly, seconds in the Prem, and he was there, when they needed him. He does have his weak moments for sure, but if you compare him to the other keepers on the list, the only one that might actually be, taking that spot is Unai Simon's. But is he the Gea level? I'm not 100% sure. He has had a good season with Bilbao, causing Barcelona a lot of trouble, as I've experienced throughout the season. But the Gea level, I'm not sure. What do you think, Sash?
100%. I mean, I bet all the people that watch Spain don't watch those Atletico Bilbao games. They'll only know De Gea out of this list, and that's what I'm going off. And you know what? De Gea has put a name on himself for being one of the world's best keepers. I think he's going to be the guaranteed spot, and I think that's what they'll go for the very goalkeeper throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now let's move on to the defenders. We have Cesar Azpilicueta, Jordi Alba, Jose Gaya, Aymeric Laporte, who changed nationalities just to make the Euros, Diego Llorente, Pau Torres, and Eric Garcia. What do you think, Sash?
Honestly, that's not an actual bad lineup for no big player. We all know Ramos injured, so that's the biggest notable mention for when we look at that back line. Everyone's used to having the El Capitano, the El Matador, Ramos, and he's not going to be there. So I think that lineup for not having him is still pretty solid. And I think we'll discuss who we think is going to be on that starting lineup. But overall, those are big players.
Yeah, definitely good defensively. I don't think they're going to have many holes. And they do have some leadership in that back line in Azpilicueta. So I'm not too worried for them, at least defensively. But yeah, moving on to the midfield, the country that births midfielders like no other country, Spain, with Sergio Busquets playing for Barca, Thiago, Liverpool, obviously, Koke, Atletico Madrid, Llorente, also Atletico Madrid, Fabian at Napoli, Rodri at Manchester City, and Pedri in Barcelona.
And Thiago in Liverpool.
Yeah, that one we mentioned. And Thiago playing well, actually. He's got a lot of slack at Liverpool because Liverpool hadn't been doing well. But I don't think it's his fault, to be honest. He was the one, moving the ball around, the best in that squad. They had a lot of difficulties in the back, but he definitely contributed what he could in the midfield and especially going forward. So besides that, every midfielder on this list could be a midfielder in probably any other European team. I mean, Pedri became a cemented spot in Barcelona, and then you have the likes of Llorente, which was so important in this Atletico title. So again, super strong midfield. Yeah, what do you think, Sash?
I agree. No, that the midfielders, like you said, right? We all know that the Spanish breed these midfielder maestros since the beginning of time. They've always had legendary mids. We got the Xavis and we got the Iniestas, from the past. Now they just have these players that still keep showing up to these big games and go to big teams and are kind of the maestros of all of the respective teams. And right now, that's probably, if I'm Luis Enrique, the headache of my midfielder is probably out of all the forward and the back line. I think the mid's going to be the hardest to pick out to kind of make sure you play that same style that Spain plays, tiki-taka. We all know that's what they'll be playing. And Luis Enrique, being an old Barcelona coach, that's exact style he's going to be playing. So no, definitely great mids they have, and not superstars, but they will keep that team moving fast balls and play the game they really want.
Do you think because Luis Enrique was used to, that Barcelona style, he'll favor these Barcelona players and Sergio Busquets and Pedri?
I think he'll Busi, yes, Pedri, just because he didn't coach Pedri. But I think Busi, he has a soft spot for Busi, and Busi has been a CDM holder for that Spain squad ever since they became world champions. So I think, that Busi is going to guarantee a spot.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now, moving on to the forwards, we have Alvaro Morata playing for Juventus, Pablo Sarabia playing for PSG, Gerard Moreno playing an unbelievable season at Villarreal, Adama Traore at Wolves, Mikel Oyarzabal at Real Sociedad, and Ferran Torres at Man City. Pretty good.
Right. And Pablo Sarabia for PSG.
Yeah, we also mentioned this one. Yeah, I know he goes unnoticed as he rides the bench a lot. Not sure if he's not riding the bench this time as well. But, I kind of expected Ansu Fati to play. I was looking forward to see him play. We'll talk about the missions later, but that was a bit sad to not see him get called up, even though he's young. He might still be a little bit injured. But they definitely have some other threats. And Gerard Moreno, like I mentioned, unbelievable season. Second top scorer in La Liga, tied with Benzema, I believe. So yeah, really, really strong season. Ferran Torres has had like a hattie already with Spain and recently with City as well. So, he could definitely be a threat. They definitely have some good threats there.
No, I agree. And you know what? I think if Spanish fans, when I look at the Spain team, they don't really have that superstar striker since Fernando Torres when he was in his prime, and that's what they need, right? With Gerard Moreno, I mean, this guy's got 23 goals, 7 assists in an unbelievable season for Villarreal. So no doubt he's going to be a threat. And like you said, Ferran Torres. So we're really going to see what players are going to kind of cement their role in the Euro. I think Luis Enrique is going to have to really do a lot of tweakings to figure out which ones are going to be the best suited for what he's going to be playing. There's definitely a lot of options. And I mean, Traore, he's got the most dribbles completed in all of Europe. So you're going to have a pacey dribbler, and he's a good crosser too. So we'll see what type of players he's gonna choose.
It's coming close. It's starting in 2 weeks time. Yeah. Now, do you want to run us through some of these omissions? Really sad to see some of these players not picked in the squad this year.
Oh, for sure. So we got a lot of players. Spain has great players all over the world, and they play in all the top 5 leagues. So we'll go Suso, who plays for Sevilla. Saul, who has been a usual pick for the Spain team for Atletico Madrid, but was not picked. Ramos, for those who don't know, injured, not left out on purpose, as the whole world is thinking, injured. Piqué also left out, but you know what, Romain, what do you think if that's a good?
I don't know. I think injury, but most likely just getting old and out of pace and out of tune with the modern game. He can't catch up to these fast Mbappes and these Iñaki Williams. So you know what? Maybe you'll be better off in the stands with Shakira.
For sure. So then we also have Kepa for a keeper. That's a huge one that has been backup keeper to De Gea, not even called up. And that has to be said because he's not playing for Chelsea. We got Ricky Puig, who I know Romain is a huge fan. Big miss for a young player. big young player that we both agreed needs more playing time. Hopefully he does, so he can cement a role in the Spain national team. Reguilon, who plays for Spurs as a left back, left out. Ansu Fati out for injury, been almost a whole year with that ACL injury. Very sad to hear. Iñaki Williams, a player that is very, very good for his respective club, not picked, was a big, weird decision. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones. And then Pereiro.
So yeah, let's dive right into it. What's the starting lineup, Sash?
Okay, so Luis Enrique usually plays a 4-3-3. That's, to me, the biggest kind of formation I think he will go with. So we'll start from the keepers. I think we can both agree on De Gea must be a starter.
Yeah, it's De Gea. And you know what? I'm also glad Kepa's not here because he, oh my gosh, his confidence is at an all-time low. I don't think he could bring anything good to this team. So I would say Jordi Alba and Cesar Azpilicueta, and the other center back, I'm putting Pau Torres. I think he's had a very, very good season with Villarreal. young up-and-coming Spanish defender. Hopefully, he can prove himself in the Euros.
Okay, so yeah, no, I agree with that lineup. So we're gonna do on that lineup. We said, did you say Laporte in the center back or no?
Yeah, Laporte,
Laporte,
Jordi Alba, Cesar Azpilicueta, and Pau Torres.
Pau Torres. No, that's a good starting lineup. Like you said, Villarreal had a great season, and that defense line was very strong because of Pau Torres. So, and I know your Barca team played him a lot, and he was solid against your front line.
Yeah, a little bit too solid.
A little too solid for your liking, eh? So now let's go to the midfield. Like we said, he's going to play a 4-3-3. So we looked into it. He doesn't really play as a holding mid. The mids usually push up, but I think we kind of know who he's going to play. But who do you think is going to be, if we had to choose, if we're the national coaches, who would you go for?
This one's a tough one for Luis Enrique. Definitely the hardest out of the four lines, if you may. So I'm saying he has to play Llorente. Llorente has been too instrumental for Atletico this season. He has to be in here. I say Thiago. Thiago had been amazing, especially last year with Bayern, but his transition to Liverpool has not been bad at all. And he's playing very well as more of a center mid, not so much holding, but more towards the camp side, but as a center mid. Mm-hmm. And then if we need to put more defensive center mid as well, I'd say Rodri, definitely Rodri to close that out.
I think that's the best line. And I mean, you watch Barcelona week in, week out. So I was gonna maybe say Busi, but you're telling me Busi's not been the same Busi. So if we're going to our strongest lineup, Rodri has been solid and pivotal for Man City. So I like that idea. Let's do some Rodri.
Okay. I wouldn't say Busi's not the same Busi, just to clarify, but Busi needs someone like Messi to pass to. And the problem with Spain is they don't have Messi. They don't have that one player you could just find, even though, you know, Busi can find any player on the pitch. Like his vision is incredible and his passing range and accuracy is incredible. If he passes the ball to Gerard Moreno, I'm not sure he can take on free defenders and shoot a top corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the one problem. And then he has too many detriments going backwards with his lack of pace and everything. So I think they might take a much more well-rounded pair or trio of center mids to really, you know, control the midfield.
For sure. Okay, I guess we know our mids. Let's go into our final part of the three. We got a striker, a left wing, and right wing. A lot of big names that we think where people are gonna be saying maybe they want this player, but I think we have to go with center striker. We have to go with the Gerard Moreno. There's no doubt. 23 goals, 7 assists. No doubt, it has to be him. Now, right wing, people are gonna be, I think after watching Wolves, if you want a player that's gonna be able to get you to that and from one end take on players, it's gotta be Adam Traore, no doubt.
Sure.
Right?
For sure, that pace, that dribbling ability, that crossing ability, he's so dangerous on the ball. So probably one of the most dangerous players on this team going forwards. So I think he has to be on the team. And now it leaves us with the left wing. Ferran Torres?
I mean, Ferran Torres, it's going to be either Ferran Torres or Dani Olmo, who's going to be from Leipzig. I think Ferran Torres I think he likes playing him more than he likes to play Dani Olmo. But I think Ferran Torres, you just can't keep him out. He's going to be able to transition with Pereiro, go into the striker position. Those three are going to be switching in and out from their position. Left wing, right wing, striker moves to the right. You know, there's a lot of interchangeable key pieces in that formation. So I think let's go Ferran Torres. Let's go Ferran Torres for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Well, you know what, guys? That wraps up our best 11 for Spain this Euros. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. But we'll try to keep this one a bit short here. Any closing thoughts on the Spain team, Sash?
Yeah, no, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you like our channel, there's more stuff like this. Hit the subscribe button. But no, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Enjoy. Footy Brews out.